Hi guys, I figured since I made another video a few minutes ago that I would go ahead and do this one since I was on a roll. Anyway, this is just an organizer update, and I just wanted to share with you what I'm back to using. I have been back and forth, as you know, or as some of you know, with Filofax, back and forth, back and forth. I've used other things. I've used some bound planners, gosh, I don't know what all, but nothing for very long. And I haven't used a planner consistently for about 6 months. It's getting really problematic, very problematic. The only thing that I've used consistently for any length of time is the bound notebook that I use all the time. And this right now is a Piccadilly because they had Piccadillys on sale at Barnes and Noble. They've had them consistently on sale, and so in this is the only consistent thing that I've had for, gosh, I don't know. The last couple of years I've used one of these consistently. It started out as a journal, and I'll show you, I can show you, I'm sure, on one of those pages. So I used to use it as a journal, so every day I would just put the date out here, the weather. Sometimes I would put a gratitude list like I used to do in the Filofax daily pages, and I'm doing again. Used it for ink testing, fountain pen ink testing, and other pens, I suppose. And so I used one for a long time as a journal, and that worked for a couple of notebooks. And then I would use it for things like I would write people's top 10 lists, things I thought I wanted to buy. That one was about games. I know I've done a couple on here about bags. I actually took the monthly pages from Lori's Plannerisms planner and put in here at one point to try to use this as a planner. That failed miserably. And not because the insert, the things I glued in or anything, just I didn't like using it that way. There were days when I didn't do anything, so I have some blank pages. But for the most part, it's worked consistently, and it's primarily right now a place for brain dumping. This is the place that I put things, all the things that won't fit in the Filofax. I've recently gone back to Filofax, and there's a reason for that. Lori and I have had this discussion more than one time. Ring binders are fabulous for things like lists, information, things that change on a consistent basis, information that you don't necessarily need to keep, or addresses and things that you do need to keep, or doctor's information, things like that. Anything that's informational or a list is fabulous for ring-bound notebooks of any kind. Permanent notebooks, bound notebooks, I'm sorry, gosh, are better for things that you want to archive because they're very easy to archive. The notebooks that I've had in the past, I filled the entire thing with the journal. When I'm done, I put it on the shelf, and I can go back later and read them, and they're fantastic for that. And that's not something I really want to give up on. And there are things that I want to keep in here. Like, for example, here's an article that I printed out that I just washi-taped in, obviously not very neatly, but about getting things done with a Moleskine. And then I've written out, this is more PIGPOG PDA, getting things done with the Moleskine. I wrote out an entire blog post, actually, that from Homemaker's Daily that I wanted to keep about use your planner. And I was at home, so I couldn't print it out, so I just wrote it out. And so these are things that I want to keep archived, and I want to keep together. And when you do pages in a Filofax, it's very hard to do that on a consistent basis. Pages come out, they don't always end up archived properly. I know I have some of 1 year archived, I have some of 1 year archived in another place, and that's my fault, I realize, but it's far more difficult to archive than just putting a bound book on the shelf. So I do use a bound book for a lot of stuff. For the Filofax, I'll show you what I'm using, and I watched a big portion of the new influx of Filofax videos where people are decorating like crazy, and I have things to say about that, but I think it's great that new people are getting into it. I got a lot of interesting ideas by watching that, but it's not my bag. I've taken some of the ideas from that, and I'll show you, but I can't see me decorating every week or whatever, and I don't like stickers on my planning pages. I don't like writing over them for the next couple of days because even flat stickers there's a bump from and things like that. In this front pocket, I just have a field notes. Wow, that's really does not show up well at all. It's one of the red ones. It had the graph paper. They all had the graph paper in them. It doesn't show up well. There you go. and I cut it apart. It just fell apart because I'm going to punch these and put the graph paper in my Filofax. I do like different size pages for different things, and I'll show you some of that here in a minute. A really kind person sent me one of those Rapesco punches, and it's been much easier to put things in my Filofax since I got that. But what I did take away from those videos that I've been watching is about decorating your Filofax and making it something you really enjoy. One of the reasons that I haven't been consistent with a planner lately is I haven't found anything that I love using, that I love opening and playing with the pages in. And I find that really vital to consistent, useful planner use. And if I don't like it, I won't use it. It just stays closed. And as we all know, a closed, what does this Lori say? A closed planner is a dead planner. Anyway, so what I have in this, I'm using it as a wallet right now. Oopsie. I don't like that, and that's going to change soon. I don't carry much as a wallet, but I find that I'm not liking doing it in the Filofax anymore, and that's neither here nor there, but that's going to change soon. This is just a quote. It says, the problem is you think you have time, Buddha. Oh, and then another use for a pocket knife. I pulled out staples. My mom was asking me the other day, well, what do you use a pocket knife for if it's not just opening packages? So anyway, I was coming up with uses for pocket knives. In the very front, I have a couple of things of Jasmine Beckett Griffith art and some cute flower clips from Jet Pens. These good friend sent to me, and I love them so much. I love her art, and then, of course, a friend sent them to me. So I just punched them both. I don't often stick stickers there. I wanted to make sure that made it home, so I saw it. And then on the back of that, though, she put scrapbooking paper, and so I do stick stickies here that I can get to quickly and easily. Now, I just made new dividers for this. I ordered some scrapbook paper that I really love so I could make new dividers. Part of the problem, I think, has been the ugly Filofax dividers and the uselessness of the titles on the dividers for me personally. So I wanted to make some new stuff. I had some dividers in here that I had bought from Sandra, that whatever the name of that planner is that you get at Barnes & Noble that comes in the clear with clear covers. The tabs on those are these circles, and I like them better, so I cut it to that shape. So what I've done is just cut out a sheet of scrapbook paper. That's the back of it. Or the back of it was this green, and then I added the bird sticker and the little star. I added washi tape. I did not, in the past when I've made dividers, I've cut out the scrapbook paper and then glued it to the Filofax divider. I didn't do that this time. I'm sorry, that flyleaf is glaring, my bad. I didn't do this time. It's just the scrapbook paper because that saves some space, some bulk in the planner, and I'd rather stuff it with other things. I've used the stickers, and it says Discover. So this is just stickers from the same scrapbook page and paper that this came from. If you like it and you're interested, it's called Hello Summer. I don't like summer, but I like the colors. They're fresh and clean. Hello Summer. I got it at scrapbook.com. They're wonderful. It got here in 2 days. It was awesome. So it also came with, obviously, a sheet of stickers. So this tab is called Discover. And then what I've done to reinforce the edges is just cover it with, I bought some new washi tape. And I do like washi tape. I use it a lot to stick things in my notebook and as I showed you a minute ago, in my planner. Let me bend this up a little bit. So I do like washi tape for stuff, and it's really excellent for things like reinforcing things or just taping things in on the go. The back of this was this green. I put a little sticker here that says note, and then the little bird was part of the stickers that came with that package, and the little star was as well. This is one of the journaling cards that also came with those. And as I was telling you, I love things that are different sizes that are stuck in. You can see that I had a little snafu with the punch here. Yeah, well, stuff happens. That's the back of that. And this was a really neat quote I saw on Twitter this morning. It says, when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. And I just thought that was really pretty. That won't stay there, but... So what's behind this Discover tab? This is all the stuff, the lists and things. I watched a YouTube video not too long ago where the lady talked about having a discovery journal and just writing down things that occur to you that you had never thought about before. It might be things that you enjoy doing. It might be things that you like. It might be things that you want to research later, right? Spending time on the internet we call research, right? Just discover things that you discover that you want to write down. What I have in here right now is just notes that I took earlier. What about a Midori passport notebook as a wallet? I'm thinking about doing something else for a wallet. And then notes about the new Erin Condren Life Planner because it's really interesting this year. I'm not changing, but they made some really neat changes, and I just thought it was cool. So anyway, what I have there is some just purple paper. I don't color code. This was the first thing I grabbed that I had a whack of. And then behind that, what I've done is I've made subsections. And I have not used a divider for these. I've used a regular sheet of Filofax paper, again in the interest of cutting down on bulk and not having so many dividers. What I've done is taken a little sticker that I got at Walmart a long time ago that has a little paperclip looking graphic, a paperclip graphic, not looking, and I've just folded it over where it stuck out from the page enough to make a little tab. These are my wish lists. I've decorated a little bit with some washi tape, just says shopping. You know, it's nothing super exciting. But inside of this, I've put, this is a sticker that I had for camera. And there's a camera and some equipment that I want to get, and so that's going to go there. I just haven't filled it in yet. Stationery and scrapbook supplies. There's some scrapbook paper that I'm wanting really badly. It's gorgeous. And so every wish list that I have in here is a different color, and that's not color coding, it's just so that I can see that it's something different. Manga titles that I'm wanting to get. Knives that I want. So you get the idea. There's a wish list for every subject within that section. Okay, then the next subsection is my stash, and this is stuff that I already have in inventory that I want to know that I have, so when I go shopping I don't repurchase an unnecessary item. And primarily what I'm using it for right now is our manga collection. I used to do this with comics too, so I would know what comic number we were up to. So right now the only thing that has in it is manga. I would anticipate that I would put things like books, maybe scrapbooking supplies, maybe planner supplies, things like that. And then all I have in here left is just some other colored paper list that I just have not made yet. And some graph paper. I love graph paper. And this is some of that nice, thin, cheap stuff. And it's not that I like it because it's cheap. I love thin paper. Midori does that really spectacularly well. And these were some blogs that I was watching earlier that I had not been following, or for some reason my Emmy's World is not coming up on my, when I transferred over from the Google blog thing, whatever it was called, to Feedly, that didn't transfer. I had some problems with Feedly, and then a couple of others that I've picked up watching lately. And then some, it's just other paper, and then the blank paper is what I'm using to do the dividers. Then the next tab I have is plan, so this is all my planning in my diary. This top tab right here this is my to-dos. This is just blank Filofax paper. I've put washi tape on the end. I've made a washi tape tag for the top, and this is to-dos. Now don't laugh because they're blank, don't judge. I actually just tore the page off in front of this. It was full of to-dos, so I do use these to-dos. It's not working really well, but it's not horrible. If you have a better idea for to-dos, let me know. It's not the greatest thing, but it's okay. But it's easy to find. So the to-dos, if I need to turn to them, are right there. I can grab the tab, turn the page, and there I am. And they're much easier to find than I had stuff before. And I'm not looking at them right in the front. I don't necessarily want to see that right in the front. So anyway, that's just some of the to-do pages from Filofax. Past the to-do pages, there's the Filofax page that they send you for future planning, and then monthlies. I was trying out some washi tape on the borders of the monthly just to give it some color, and I like it. I just did the one side because the month is almost over. I didn't mess with the side, but I like that because it's some decoration, but it's not a bunch of stickers all over, but it does give it a different look. These are just the Filofax monthlies. This month I tried the coloring like some people do, the days that are not in the month, so the previous month, the next month. I'm not entirely sure that I like that. That's my kid's birthday. He'll be 12, I can't believe it. Anyway, so I've added some washi tape to the inside, and I like that, in as much as that's a little bit of color. After those, what I have are Filofax dailies, and I love, good, bad, or indifferent, don't judge, however you feel about Filofax paper, I have loved the plain old Filofax dailies for several years. I don't use them like you might expect. I use them primarily to put things that I've done, and then I keep gratitude lists at the bottom of every one, and that's actually really comforting. I started that when I had the Topaz, so a couple years ago, and I just find it really comforting. So I don't do much to these, y'all. I put things that have gone on, like that says Musket Graphic 45 Steampunk Spells, my gratitude list. I don't color code. The only thing I do with the colors is separate text, but I like the colors. And that pin that fell out is one I actually just got. It's one of those Toledo High-Tech C multi-pins. I've got 5. They're Tutti Frutti kind of colors, and I like those. is so much nicer than the BIC. Having gel ink is just so much nicer than having that BIC 4-color. Anyway, so Filofax dailies to the end of the year. And then Dream is the next tab. That's the back of it. And it does have washi tape reinforcement. It's just a lighter tape. You can't really see. Behind this is my bucket list. Some questions that I found in a book one time about just things that you want. If there was one place you could visit, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? Blah, blah, blah. Trying to find your purpose in life, whatever. And the next tab is Count. Behind this, I got so sick of looking at the financial tab and it was so boring. So Count, behind this is anything that has to do with finances. So I have a list of what comes out on one day, what day of the month. I have some automatic drafts. And there's a list of those, and then student loan stuff. After that is numbers. So this little tab right here, let's see if I can do it. I made another little washi tab. When I turn that, those are my address pages. I'm not going to show you everybody's number. I'll show you the back. These are the ones that came with that one that I was talking about from Barnes & Noble, and I like it better because it has a clean separation in between. It's not as busy as the Filofax, and so I like those better. In the back, I've put the envelopes. I made this several years ago. It just says, be happy in this moment is your life. Has some ticket stubs from some things the kids and I did. Some Jennifer Galasso art from her Crystal Visions Tarot. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Then some business card holders, pictures of my kids. Those I don't think matter. Some personal calling cards, some business cards, Jennifer Galasso and Strangeling, which is Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Some other just personal business cards, some frequent shopper cards. These I can show you. P.F. Chang's, Yum Yum, the piercing studio where I got my lip pierced. And then these are, I just have a note with some books that I want to put, I have not put in my list yet. A little thing my daughter made me, and in the back, the secretarial pocket, is just some notes that I have, things that, some numbers and stuff that I need to get put in here that I just haven't done yet. So that's the system right now. This system, the Discover tab, is the tab that I really fully expect to expand. And I really like it being right at the front because this is where I write the most, to be honest with you. I don't write as much on the daily as I do in these lists. And I really like having this landing pad right here in the very front for things that I'm just thinking about. I remembered that the Suburban Mom had done a video about using a Midori Passport notebook as a wallet, and I remembered that, and so I put that on there. You know, and it was just spur of the moment. I don't have to have stickies lying all over the place. I don't have to fervently search in the back of this for, you know, notes or whatever writing space. It's right here in the very front. So, you know, this obviously sits behind these, sits behind a flyleaf, but the tab is right there, and I can turn right to that page. It's right there, and it's very easy to get to, and I like that. And then I like having the notes section on top of the diary section, because as we all know, the rings on the left can be a real pain in the rear end to write on. And so that raises them up some so they're a little bit easier to write on. They're still difficult in the Cuban, and this may not last forever. What I'm really jonesing for is that really pretty Raspberry Saffiano. I like that one, and the aqua one. We'll see, like, I need another Filofax like I need a hole in the head, but, you know, it is what it is. We all collect them, right? So that's what I'm using right now. That's the update. If you have any questions, comments, send them below, please. It's nice to see you all again. I've missed you. I apologize for the lack of videos. I love making videos. I love talking with y'all, sharing ideas. Work has been, for the last 8 months, very, very difficult for me. It's taken a huge physical and emotional toll, and I just have not had the energy to do much of anything except come home and do whatever I need to do with the kids. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. See you soon.